Hello guys and welcome back to our channel Barca Admirers for yet another video covering all the latest news updates and transfers roundup regarding FC Barcelona. In this episode, we have taken a look at the possible replacements of Ronald Koeman, as his time as the manager of Barcelona seems to be running out and there are a lot of promising names on the list. Meanwhile, Pedri's contract seems all set to be renewed very soon as Barca look to achieve all their transfer window objectives by the end of this season, along with many more such updates. So make sure to watch this video till the very end without skipping over any part. Now before we begin, a small shout out to OneFootball. If you are a football fan and want to stay updated about the plethora of latest news coming up in the vast world of football, then OneFootball is the best app for you. Be it the latest news updates, transfer rumors or update about club or international football, OneFootball has got it all covered. It is completely free to use and its biggest perk is that it gives you real-time match updates whenever a game is being played out, and whenever there's a major incident in the game, you will be notified by the app. You can select your favorite club and it will suggest you personalized articles. In my case, it's definitely Barcelona. Be it game statistics, current form of your team or individual performances of your players, you get it all. La Liga, Champions League, English Premier League, Serie A, World Cup, Bundesliga, League 1, MLS or AFC Champions League, everything you want, it's here. So go ahead, check it out. Link to download the app is given in the description of this video. To start off today's news roundup, we have Spanish publication Mundo Deportivo's report regarding last night's match. It said that Granada took the lead just after kickoff and the draw hurt Barca as much as it did Koeman. A great header in the 90th minute from a monstrously colossal performance by Ronald Araujo, the best Barca player, kept another defeat from occurring at the Camp Nou and left us at a loss for words. Reporting further on the game, journalist Adria Albert states that the average age of Barca's defense yesterday was 20, with Dest, Araujo, Eric and Balde all starting. The team's average age was 24. Only one player was above the age of 30 and that was Sergio Busquets. As for the situation of Alejandro Balde, Barca have now officially confirmed that the player was taken off due to a low back injury. He will undergo more tests shortly. Meanwhile, reliable journalist Alfredo Martinez reported that Nico Gonzalez was severely sick, which was why he was not included in the squad. The statistics released after the match showed that Barcelona attempted 54 crosses against Granada, but only 14 of them were successful. Looking at it from a different point of view, however, 14 accurate crosses is actually an impressive number in a single game. Liverpool averages the most accurate crosses in the top 5 leagues in this season, which stands at 8.6 crosses per match. The real issue, however, is with the total number of crosses played by Barcelona, which was 54, as Manchester City has the most number of crosses per game this season among the top clubs, which is 22.2. Top-tier journalist Fernando Polo described this team as the Barca of the Three Towers. The team ended up attacking with Araujo, Piqué and Luke de Jong in the center and put 54 crosses into the box. The Barca team was entrusted very early to direct play, overwhelmed and stressed by the early goal of Granada. Speaking in the post-match press conference, last night's hero Ronald Araujo said that it's a shame that the goal came so late because they wanted to win and he thinks that they could have gotten the victory. The truth is that he had 3 chances to score and he is here to help as much as he can. Speaking about Ronald Araujo, ESPN wrote that Araujo is Puyol's true successor in the times of gloom. The Camp Nou fans, the few that maintained their loyalty against all the tests, chanted his name today as they did 20 years ago when they chanted the name of a young Carles Puyol. Also speaking in the post-match press interview, Marc-Andre ter Stegen said that the draw leaves Barca with a bitter aftertaste. It has cost us, but they have the feeling that they could have done more. They have to be more united than ever and they need the fans now more than ever. Meanwhile, in their most recently published article, Spanish outlet Sport stated that 4 months later, Riqui Puig tasted the feelings of wearing the Blaugrana colours again in an official match. He had not done it since May 22nd in an inconsequential Eibar Barca in which Ronald Koeman gave him just 35 minutes of play. Manager Ronald Koeman of course defended his team and himself in the post-match presentation. He said that a bad start had complicated the game against a rival that wasted time from the second minute itself. However, they must highlight the team's attitude. They have changed the system with Piqué, Araujo and De Jong, and that's how the draw came. They must highlight the team ambition to always look for the equalizer. He said that Barca always tries to play with a particular style, but if the game demands a change, then he has to do it. He said that he thinks that they did well. People are unhappy with the result, but he does not think that they will leave unhappy with the fighting spirit of the team. With what is available, they have done their best, and with a little luck, they could have also won the match. Surprisingly, Koeman publicly said that with this current squad list, playing tiki-taka is impossible, and he did what just had to be done. Speaking about his position, he said that he won't talk about his future anymore with the journalists. However, Koeman's reluctance to talk about his future and his continuity at the club does not really mean anything, as RAC1 reports that Barca have prepared a list of 5 to 6 names to replace Koeman. This may have been his last match in charge. According to Catalan journalist Gerard Romero, Andrea Pirlo is on Barca's list to replace Koeman as well. The list of managerial replacements as published by RAC1 includes Xavi Hernandez at number 1 with Andrea Pirlo at number 2. Erik ten Hag comes next, followed by Marcelo Bielsa and Antonio Conte. Also reporting on the same issue, reliable journalist Joan Vehils claims that as soon as Barcelona have a replacement for Ronald Koeman, they will sack the Dutch manager. This could happen today, tomorrow or the next week, but the decision has already been made. As per the report of Gerard Romero, former Germany manager Joachim Löw is on the list as well. He is not the best positioned, but he is definitely on the list of names. However, journalists Roger Torreo and Sergi Solé both report that Koeman will at least continue till the Cadiz game. The technical secretariat works on the search for a replacement. The one to take over if Koeman gets sacked this week would not be a bridge coach, but one who heads the new sports project. As per the report of Spanish publication Sport, the club acknowledged that Koeman has already lost a fan base. However, if he is to be sacked, they don't want an interim manager. They want the manager who will lead the new project to take over. One of the club's socios and Joan Laporta's close friend, Jose Madodei, said in one of his recent interviews that he had a nice conversation with Laporta after the Granada game, in which he expressed his opinion. They coincided for the most part. He won't reveal anything, but he can say for now that some of the names that have come out as possible managers are false. Now that's all for the Granada match. Looking forward to the next fixture, it's now been officially confirmed that Carlos Del Cerro Grande will officiate the game between Cadiz and Barca in round 6 of La Liga, with Ignacio Iglesias Villanueva operating the VAR. Moving on to the next news update, we have some really alarming statistics as compiled by Spanish publication Diario AS. It states that since Lionel Messi left for PSG, Barcelona's brand has lost 11% of its value, which now stands at just 1.266 billion. Considering only the commercial income, Barca will stop receiving 77 million euros with the departure of the Argentine. Added to this figure is another 17 million euros more due to the loss of sales and match days, and another 43 million euros due to the fall in shirt sales, since 80% of the kits that the Catalans bought were for Messi. In terms of season tickets, a drop of over 40 million euros is estimated because more than 26,000 socios have dropped out in this season. Rakuten, the main sponsor of the club's jersey and which contributes 30 million euros in this campaign, announced that they will stop sponsoring from Barca next year. Right now, only the arrival of sporting successes can cause Barcelona to recover part of the brand value that they have lost with the departure of Messi. Reporting further on Messi's situation, top-tier journalist Xavi Guerrero states that from Leo Messi's environment, they point out that during the negotiations, Laporta informed that Roberto Martinez, the Belgian national team manager, would take over the managerial position at the club with Thierry Henry as his assistant. Laporta is still not convinced by Xavi and does not want to bring him in just yet. Some board members have tried to convince him, but they failed. He is not ruled out, however. Laporta also likes Erik ten Hag, who too has also been praised by Guardiola in the past. Sport has prepared a list of their own about the potential list of managerial candidates at Barca. According to it, Albert Capellas is at the top as he is the only option currently available at the club. It is followed by Xavi Hernandez and Roberto Martinez with Thierry Henry as his assistant, and lastly Erik ten Hag. Going to the next news update, we have the comments of former Barca B player Konrad de la Fuente. In his most recent interview with ESPN, he said that his goal is to end up playing for Barcelona one day, and he knows that the best way for that to happen was to leave, because he needed to get those first division minutes to develop himself. He said that he is an ambitious person, so for him it was not that hard to leave. He had good offers and ultimately he chose to go to Marseille. The best thing he could have done for his development was to start getting those professional minutes to grow as a player and hopefully one day get back to Barca. Going to the next news update, journalist Gabriel Sanz reports that Barca has a clause to unilaterally extend Pedri Gonzalez's contract for 2 years, but the club won't do so. Pedri only wants to stay and his entourage is more than willing to accept any offer made by the club. Money is not a factor for them. Top-tier journalist Mate Moreta also confirms that Pedri will renew his contract at the club. Everything is practically agreed and the parties want to finalize it in the second week of October. Next up, we have an interesting news update as it was originally reported by journalist Maria Garridos that the club will terminate Alex Collado's contract as he could not be registered. However, later on, trusted journalist Tony Joan Marti reported that contrary to earlier reports, Barca will not terminate Collado's contract. The player will still receive what corresponds to him and the solution will be looked for in January. As per the report of another trusted journalist Albert Roger, Collado wants to stay and is training with the first team. The club consider him an asset for the future and do not want to part ways with him under any circumstances. That's everything we could collect for you today in the news roundup. Now moving on to the transfers section. For the first one today, Barca's economic vice president Eduard Romeu said that the work is being done so that in the next season the club is back in the transfer market. Barca has started thinking about opportunities for 2022. Olmo is a target, Haaland is a dream, and Pogba is a market opportunity. As per the report of reliable journalist Roger Torreo and Ferran Martinez, out of all these names, Dani almost sounds to be the safest bet for the next year. He is open to joining. Barca will try to achieve his signing if possible in the winter, despite knowing its complications. Otherwise, they will go for him in the summer. Erling Haaland, who is very much liked by Laporta, has most of the top clubs after him. Considering the wages, commissions and all the other things, it is difficult to see Barca being able to face his signing, but Laporta hopes to convince the player and his agent. Erling Haaland's release clause alone is worth 90 million euros. Apart from that, his father and Mino Raiola won 20 million euros in commissions each. His transfer could cost up to 130 million euros in transfer fees alone. Laporta, however, will try to use his connections with Raiola to make a possible deal happen. For the next transfer update, journalist Roger Torreo reports that Barcelona eye Franck Kessie as a plan B if they fail to acquire the services of Paul Pogba. The 24-year-old Ivorian midfielder would be a free agent next summer. However, PSG, Real Madrid, Juventus and Manchester United are all interested in him. That's all the news we could collect for you today. If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon, select all and enable all the YouTube app notifications. We have always been overly impressed by your response to our videos. So in this episode, we have decided to set a target of 550 likes. Please Qlers, help us reach our target on this episode as well. Now that's all we have for today's episode. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Until then, stay safe. Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalunya.